Thank you, and thanks for coming. And yeah, I'm also part of this DGPU for Geo project, and I will talk about some of the tooling that we're developing within the project. So yeah, well, as was said, we develop GPU accelerated codes for mostly for computational geoscience applications, and kind of it just turns out that about 80% of both runtime and development time that we spend goes into doing physics computations, or in particular discretizations of PDEs, partial differential equations. On top of that, algorithms that we use, so because we target extreme scale, we use much more simple algorithms that sometimes, kind of matrix-based, etc. Algorithms are memory-bound. And well, to deal with that, we use structured logically rectangular grids and mostly low-order finite-difference methods, as opposed to, for example, discontinuous Galerkin high-order methods. And we needed a library of helper functions to work with this discretizations and execution, etc. So yeah, Chmy.jl version 0.2. Well, after you can ask me what it means. So it's a reimplementation, a completely reimplementation of previous version of this library. Which is a library of reusable components to accelerate the development of numerical codes. It focuses on structured grids and conservative FD methods. And on top of that, we try to target zero-cost abstractions so that you can write the codes, and when you execute it, it will be pretty much the same as if you would write all the low-level code yourself. I guess the design is bottom-up, so you create simple objects, so grids, discretized fields, and some lazy objects, and you build more complex constructs, PDEs, from that, which, well, as opposed to, for example, SciML approach and methods of lines, where you give like the strong form of your equation and then it pattern matches on the type of this equation and tries to find a good solver for that. So it mostly focuses on geoscience applications or CFD kind of things. So we support staggered grids, lazy computations, which is a new thing in Chmy version 0.2. Finite differences and kind of also tensor calculus computations. So staggered grids is something that we were missing from other tools in Julia. So yeah, we solve incompressible fluid dynamics codes, and this means that we cannot simply store all our fields on the same locations on grids. We really need to kind of have several superimposed grids on top of each other, and there are many types of those. And in ocean and climate science, I guess the well-known classification is this Arakawa grids, and we provide recipes for those. But actually, we in Chmy, it's just a constructor for defining your own associations of data to topological elements on regular grids. So you can, for example, implement something like multigrid, so which is not something that is supported now, but it can be implemented on top of that. So the big feature is lazy tensor calculus. So yeah, very similar to the first talk in this session. We have lazy objects and essentially a symbolic representation layer, which is so it's not a symbolic library. It's very lightweight. It doesn't support really symbolic features. It's just a representation. But we can do tensor calculus, and this is very convenient because many of our applications involve curvilinear coordinate systems, and doing the conversions by hand is very cumbersome. Whereas if you can create like a metric tensor components, it's much easier. There are many libraries in Julia which deal with tensors, but they're either focused on like very large, high-order tensor contractions, as in particle physics, for example, or very efficient computations with continuum mechanics tensors, but with concrete types. And here we have lazy objects, so every component of every tensor has different type, and that's why we also had to implement it from scratch. So yeah, then finally, once you Once you write your equations, you want to execute them, and we rely on wonderful kernel abstractions.jl package to execute these lazy objects in the end on CPUs and GPUs. So we support, well, whatever kernel abstraction supports, and yeah, it's fairly easy to just switch the backend, and then yeah, just, well, when you allocate some memory, and then you can just store the results. Okay, so, and finally, yeah, when you have like fairly large code, a large algorithm, which is kind of, this is some hydromechanical coupled kind of residual function, or like update rule that we use in, well, in JuliaGPU. It's simplified, but it gives the idea. And there, yeah, when you just write down all these kernels, if you naively execute them one by one, it will be very slow. And ideally, you want to fuse as many computations as possible, but it's also challenging because you might, for example, introduce race conditions on the one hand, and on the other hand, you also need some memory, some performance model, which you want to use to kind of to optimize somehow. And we use a very simple performance model, which is just maximizing the effective memory throughput. This is, well, this might be not optimal in all cases, but this is a very simple heuristic that really gives some good results by default. And what we do is, because of this lazy object format, we have the full dependency tree for the full kind of series of these Chmy expressions. And based on that, we can reorder computations, we can fuse kernels, making sure that, well, the results won't change compared to as you would execute them one by one and synchronize. No data races, and well, this procedure is it's fairly heavy. It's a constrained combinatorial optimization. It's NP-hard, but we do it ahead of time, so during compilation in a generated function, and we maximize this effective memory throughput, which is, well, similar to what we do usually by hand. I skipped many things in the interest of time, so how we handle boundary condition, how we do interpolation if the things don't match on the grid, how we, well, we can extract sparsity patterns, and there is also a huge backlog of things that have to be done, so it's now heavily in development, such as Jacobian coloring, also static, distributed support, well, and some other things possibly. Unfortunately, well, I didn't manage to release it before now, but it will be released soon, so stay tuned, and you can, in the meantime, check the docs for the old version, which doesn't have most of these fancy features. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ivan. Any questions? Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the talk. I want to ask about if there are some features for integrated structured meshes for GMesh or another package.
Yeah, so the question was if we support some unstructured meshes. Yeah, so no, I guess in Chmy, really the focus is we want it to be a simple tool for simple things. So we only focus on structured meshes for now, which are logically rectangular. So there might be some other, well, ideally we want to support block structured meshes sometime in the future. But for now, I guess the focus is just to have the rectangular. Yeah, so block structured would be maybe in the backlog, but definitely not for the nearest future.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Yes, when you construct a grid with this package, can you use these operators? Can these operators you have constructed be used with? Does it matter which algorithm which uses the operators to place any restrictions? For instance, is it restricted to differential equations, or are there also other types of numerical algorithms which can use the grids you create with Chmy? I don't know if you understood my question about this. So they are so general enough that you can use more or less any data structure and any calling algorithms.
Yeah, so the question is whether it's limited to differential equations or it can be something else. In principle, the kind of the lazy operator thing, so it's heavily targeted towards tensor computations. So what we do in the end, we lower all these expressions to a series of primitive computations on neighbors on the structured grids. So in a sense, the algorithm has to lower everything into this representation, but it doesn't have to be PDEs. But of course, well, in Chmy, what I implement personally is the differential operators. And then, yeah, if anyone is interested in something else, then kind of it could be possible to implement.